And now for our feature presentation.
What it do? It's your boy Man Turner, and you are watching the Screen Legends podcast. Once again, I am your boy Man Turner.
This is Young Zeke.
Young Zeke.
This is AT behind the camera.
Guy behind the camera. So how y'all been doing? Happy New Year's first and foremost.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. I hope y'all have some very positive New Year's resolutions.
I fucked up the day after the first day.
I already know.
What was it?
Nothing. Nothing you need to be concerned about. I'm still trying. I'm still trying.
Concerned about. But we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to have a very positive, progressive years. 2025. We're going to make that motherfucker our bitch, man.
Got high hopes.
High hopes,
man. So shit, man, this is episode, I believe, 2 or 3, maybe even 4. We just been recording, kind of lost track, man. This is our newest episode, right on.
Yeah. And
on today's episode, we are discussing American Gangster, American Hustler, American Gangster, man. 2007.
2007.
Came out starring the legendary Denzel Washington.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
With a very how would I say it? Formidable co-star in Russell Crowe.
Yes, sir. I would just say a star-studded cast. There's so many people in this movie that are badasses.
Even Norman Reedus was in there.
Yeah. That's the guy from what?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Oh, Boondock Saints guy.
Yeah.
Hey, that movie was dope, bro. The Boondock Saints movies. There's like 2 of them, aren't there?
Yeah, I watched them a long time ago. I totally forget what they're about.
You know what I just thought about real quick? Boondock Saints. What's his name?
Norman Reedus.
Yeah. There's another guy in American Gangster that's in the Boondock Saints. What is his name? Lorene Devine.
Wait, is it the guy in the beginning of the movie? One of the guys in the beginning, or no?
Nah, he's a cop. He's like the chief. And what are you asking me?
Like because it was a guy that was like a gangster or something that he got beat up or something.
I think he's like their elder on Boondock Saints, and he's like the chief on American Gangster. He's Russell Crowe's boss on American Gangster.
Yeah.
And he's also like the Boondock Saints, like he's like their elder or whatever. Don't they like go to him for like help at one point in like part 2 or whatever?
Yeah, something like that.
I noticed that what's his name? The director, producer,
Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I noticed he uses a lot of the same actors in a lot of his films, like Denzel, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Norman
Reedus.
Reedus. This Levine Devine guy I'm talking about. Yeah, man, he likes to use the same guys in this movie.
I mean, just like a bunch of directors, when you trust your actors and stuff and all that, your crew, you keep them on,
it's like Scorsese always has the same
Tim
kind
Burton.
of people in it.
Yeah, that dude, he's all over the place with his productions too. The Ridley Scott guy, he got Gladiator 1 and 2. What were you telling me else he made?
Didn't he do Aliens?
Yeah, Alien.
Yep.
What is it? How do you say it? Prometheus. And then he makes gangster movies too, like American Gangster.
Yeah, Ridley Scott has his hands in a ton of different projects.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect this one for him to be making American Gangster.
Yeah, he directed it and produced it. And what's the writer's name? Scott.
Steven Zalen and Mark Jacobson are the writers of this one.
Yeah. Did they like write Gangs of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio back in the day?
Yeah,
so they got
that one that's set in the 20s or something.
Yeah. So they got like they make some good New York gangster movies, man. Like shit, because Gangs of New York's a great ass movie. I watch that anytime.
I'm pretty sure he did The Irishman.
Yeah.
He did Moneyball.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of different things. Gangs of New York, Hannibal.
Yeah, that's a good duo, man. They push out some. I call those realism movies because it's not too much in those movies that can't actually happen. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the stuff in their movies are either based on a true story, even you know what I mean, to that extent. But I like realism movies, man. Those are my favorite kind of movies because that shit can really happen. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, to an extent, it did. You know what I mean? I love that.
Especially taking in consideration Frank Lucas and his whole life.
American Gangster, based on a true story, man. Based on a true story. Frank Lucas. There's a lot of different urban legends about him. There's a lot of facts about him. It's kind of hard to determine what's fact and what's fiction because he's such an urban legend. Urban legend in American gangster culture. You know what I'm saying? He's literally up there with the Lucky Lucianos and the Italian mafia family. Like he's just a black mafia. Like every race had their own mafia back then, and he was one of the elites in the black mafia. Sometimes if you let him tell it, he'll say that he was Bumpy Johnson's right-hand man. But other people will say that he was just another one of Bumpy's flunkies.
Wasn't he like his driver or something like that?
Driver, confidant to some degree. But either way you slice it, he's connected to Bumpy Johnson.
It doesn't matter. It's like those fools, those people are made men. They don't just hire somebody and be like, hey, it didn't work out.
Like
here's your last paycheck.
It's literally the black equivalent to Lucky Luciano. Like this how deep it goes. So I had to do some research. So just to understand the hierarchy of where Frank Lucas comes from. He wasn't just some geek off the street.
No.
So
what's that from Heat?
Nah,
that's from something off the
the original? I think, but Warren G, that's Regulators. But it is off of Heat.
I think that's from Heat,
It is off of Heat. It's when they're recruiting their
you
their
can't
officers.
be just know what,
You can't just be no geek off the street. You got to earn your keep.
Mount up.
Mount up, yeah.
Never seen it.
Oh my god! But yo, check it. So this how deep that early 20th century mafia shit runs with the racketeering, the bootlegging, just the whole original gangster underground world of America. So back in the day, I'm talking like 1920, 1930. There is this woman, a black woman. Her name was Madam Stephanie St. Clair. She's literally the reason why we have a lottery. Like, that's how real it gets, bro. Like, this lady named Madam Stephanie St. Clair, she's literally the reason America has
like
the lottery.
The lottery, like
the
Powerball.
The Powerball. This woman that I'm finna tell y'all about, she's the reason we have it, period. So back in the day, she used to run numbers in Harlem. And Bumpy Johnson was her legitimate right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? He collected money for her. He was her bodyguard. He was her driver. You know what I'm saying? And this was just in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? But they black. You know how motherfuckers don't really want niggas to have nothing. And the Italian mafia.
I wouldn't know. I can't relate.
The Italian mafia was not feeling that shit. And other mafias weren't either. So she gets into it with another group of mafia, Schultz. His name was Dutch Schultz. Like, these are actual people. Like, this is real shit. And there's a movie called Hoodlum, starring Lawrence Fishburne that depicts this story right here. So she gets into it. Her crew gets into it with Dutch Schultz. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole out war. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of people get murdered. People get killed to the extent that the Italian mafia put a hit out on Dutch Schultz because he was doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, bro, you're causing way too much trauma and trouble and causing too much attention to us. So he eventually got a hit put out on him. And Madam St. Clair, she ended up getting booked. Bumpy Johnson, in the mix of all that, he ended up getting booked. He ended up doing 15 years. She ended up getting assassinated, and when he gets out, he takes over Harlem. So that's how Bumpy Johnson took over Harlem and was the man of Harlem. And there's several different cinemas about him, like The King of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker. That's mostly about Bumpy Johnson. The movie Hoodlum, starring Lawrence Fishburne. That's another movie about Bumpy Johnson. So they got about 2 or 3
That's
movies.
wild too, because to think of how small
New York City.
No. I'm just saying for this movie, American Gangster, how small his role was in the very beginning of just setting up who Frank Lucas was.
Yeah.
But to know how big of a history that guy had, that's not even displayed because he was just a setup for the movie.
Oh, yeah,
you know
in the beginning of the movie.
So
Hell
it's crazy to know that 20 years before, how many years,
whole
his
life.
lifetime.
Man
is
in
like,
the beginning of the movie. So if you, when you was a young nigga, you was that nigga.
So it's weird to think that like that history was before this crazy history, right?
About to take place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does that work? How does life work like that? Where it's like a loop of like, it's not a loop, but it's just one long legendary run, and it spans generations and people.
Put it this way. Put it this way. It's 2025. Everything we talking about happened in like 1925, and it started in 1930. The shit we talking about ain't been 100 years ago.
Frank Lucas, when did he actually?
He just died in 2019.
But when did he become? Where he gave up? Well, but what was the date that? Because he got 50, he got like 30 years, but he only served 15, right?
He only served 5.
Okay, but when was that?
15.
But when was that? Like meaning when?
He got
when
out
did he
in
get
1981.
Out? See, that's wild to think that was 45 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
19,
almost
he got out
44 years ago, right?
Yeah, about 45 years ago. He just died in 2019.
So that happened. So all this stuff. All the arrest of like all the 100+ police officers that he helped take down was in the 70s, right?
Yep.
All that was in the 70s.
Yep.
So just to think that like even the stuff that you're seeing now that came out in 2007, that had been 25 years and further back, meaning 25 years since he got arrested. But he was doing this shit for what? How many years do you think he was on top as a made man?
5.
So he did. How much money do you think he accumulated in that time?
A lot.
They say roughly $60 million.
But he was also giving it away too, or like family and all that.
Yeah, community.
Giving it away.
Well, giving back.
He was doing what Bumpy did.
Yeah, giving back.
He did exactly what Bumpy did.
He was doing what Bumpy did because, like I said earlier, Bumpy Johnson would rub shoulders with Lucky Luciano, and he was taught the Italian Mafia way. That's how the Italian Mafia.
So he knew once after Bumpy died, he didn't even have to think. He knew exactly how to play the hand because he was taught exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Not in case, but just because.
And even the people who talk down on him the most, like Mamie, Bumpy Johnson's wife, she even though she admits, she'll say, man, he wasn't around him for no 15 years. Bumpy Johnson wasn't even free that long. But she even admitted he was around. She admits knowing him.
Yeah, like she knew who he was. Yeah.
And she admits that he did drive him around.
But he probably wasn't shit at the time when she saw him because he was just a lackey of Bumpy.
Even with the person that's hating on you the most is still giving you a backhand,
no, for sure,
acknowledging and confirming that he was in fact around, even if it wasn't to the extent that he's saying. I still have to say, he ain't lying, he was around. So with that being said, hell yeah, like bro, hell yeah, man, you rub shoulders with them niggas, man. Like you learn from original American gangsters, like you know what I mean? Like,
why would you do anything else if that's the world you're in, right? Like, they're doing it right, and they've been doing it right for so many years.
Like this is it.
Follow suit,
bro.
And what I really liked about this movie too is Russell Crowe's.
He good.
His character and the fact that like he at the beginning when they found the bookie's money in the trunk, and it was like a ton of fucking money.
It was $1 million.
He could have just retired. He could have left and done whatever.
So that's one of the facts in the movie that's legit. Like that movie.
Like it really happened. He really turned that cash in, and everybody was really mad at him.
Him and his partner. So the only thing that wasn't true in that little particular thing is he says in the personal interview that he wasn't as ostracized as they make it out.
Yeah, because they want it to be more dramatic and stuff like that.
But he says other than that, that particular aspect, 100% true. It was $1 million fucking dollars.
In the 70s too, dude. That's like what?
Nah, to be more specifically, it was 1969.
To think about $1 million in 1969.
Who fucking knows?
Like, it's a lot of money.
And his partner didn't really OD and all that neither. That was just to push the plot in the movie. That was just to further the plot in the movie. So the partner and the person that found the money with him.
Was he also there in the bust of Frank Lucas and stuff, or was there a separation, or was he always his
there
partner?
was a separation. Yeah. There was a separation in partnerships, but
was it because he was becoming a junkie though?
Who
was his partner really a junkie? No. So they just did that for plot,
for a motive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For
just
motive.
the plot because The only reason he got hip to the blue magic in the movie is because he found it in his OD partner's
pocket. Or
remember when he went
And
to
his
he
stuff.
saw
Yeah,
like
that's
the
right.
morgue and
he took it because he didn't want people to think
yeah.
his partner was a junkie kind of thing.
And he wanted, to further the plot. Like,
Yeah.
that shit found its way right to the cork board, and it didn't come down to the very end of the cork board. You know what I mean?
So
Just to further the
I got
plot.
something to say about that scene where he finds the money. Remember whenever they take it to the office or the station?
Yeah.
And they're counting it, and the boss is like, "What are you doing
That's
counting it in
that's
the
Le-
open?"
that's Levine Devine.
Yeah, him. Well, he's like, "Why are you counting it in the open?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a thing that they did for the movie to like make people see?
Yeah,
like
because they
what's
wanted
going
to
on?
show,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
ultimately what the whole point of the thing was is the guy was like, dude, if you turn this in, you're going to think that we're all these crooked cops are not going to trust us anymore.
At the time, at that particular junction, which is a real fact, New York police officers and law enforcement were crooked as fuck. They were easily
Manipulated.
easy. Like for the sake of this conversation, let's just say every 7 out of 10 police officers in New York
Was
in
getting
this particular-
paid off,
was
but yeah.
corrupt.
Yeah.
So his actual statement was, a cop that turns in money says one thing: you turn in cops who take money. And even though it's that unspoken thing, half the niggas in here taking money. So
Would
now,
you have?
Would I have what?
Say if it was me and you, I was Russell Crowe and you're the fucking guy next to me, and we popped open the trunk of a bookie's car and found $1 million in 1969. Would you
Kept the money?
kept the money?
Fuck yeah, I'm keeping the money.
Same here. I would've done the
listen
same
to it
shit.
closely, he did keep some of the money.
Oh yeah, because he took like 13,000 or
Yeah,
30.
because he's like,
It
"Where's
was
the
like
rest?"
40-something thousand, because he goes,
Something,
it
I
was
forget.
like, he was like 930-something
Yeah.
thousand.
It's
But
like
it was
why
a-
didn't it? Why?
That's
Like,
an
Where's the
odd
rest
ass
of it?
number, and he
Yeah.
just looks at him like, hell yeah, I'm pocketing something, motherfucker. Now,
but would
snitch
you
on
have
me.
been one of those people that would have been a crooked cop back then? Would if
No.
like
So,
Lucky
like-
Luciano or Frank Lucas was like, turn your head anytime
No.
you see one of my
No.
guys, you pull over one of my guys,
No.
let him go.
I would have been dirty to the extent like that. Finders keepers. If I pop a trunk,
And you find it, you're turning. I mean, like,
if I pop a trunk and it's $1 million of unmarked money, yeah, I'm keeping that. But like,
but it also
But
has to
I'm
go
not-
to the
I'm not-
result that, or you also have to think this though.
what?
If it's $1 million in 1969, let's say that's like it's you know what I mean, like 4 million, right?
Yeah.
You know that somebody really bad is gonna be looking for that money.
But we know whose money it is.
No, but did you? Well,
They knew whose money that was. They were following them.
so that had nothing to do with Frank Lucas, correct?
No, that was just setting up. At that particular junction in the movie, they were just setting up each other's characters and each other's plots. So, like, on Russell Crowe's side, they were setting up how he's not really a present father, how he's secretly taking the test and going to school.
But he's
to be
also a good
lawyer,
cop and
but
not
he's also
corrupt.
a good cop.
Yeah.
And on Frank Lucas's side, it's showing how however you want to slice it, he's a fucking man for the man. The man dies. He's trying to figure out his next move after he's gone, because on his side, Harlem's in chaos. Remember
Yeah.
he had that he had a lunch or whatever. He was only buying half a key at
Yeah.
that particular time, and him and old boy was having that conversation, and he was like, man, Harlem's in chaos, and he was still trying to figure out his next move. Motherfuckers wasn't giving him his respect and all that type of shit. So it was just, at that particular junction, they didn't know each other's existence at all in the movie. You know what I'm saying? And it was just building them up to where they are about to collide. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
But but that was another little thing I thought was slick with Russell Crowe. So like, in real life, he did take the bar. He is a legitimate defense attorney now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in the movie, in the beginning, it's showing how he's taking night school classes and shit like that.
Taking the tests, bar exams.
Yeah,
and all that
he
shit.
passed it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you pay attention, but there's a part in the movie where he's sitting at the desk and he opens up the letter and it says that he's officially passed the bar for 1969 or
He just
1970.
puts
Yeah,
it right there.
and he pins that hoe right
Doesn't
there.
say nothing.
It doesn't say a fucking word. But this is what he does say. How many of those people on that board have you seen actually sell drugs? Like, you know what I'm saying? So now he got a little fire in him, you know. He really trying to get to the bottom of this case, but he don't say nothing to his crew. He just keeps it right buck, you know what I'm saying?
Fair
Like,
enough. Sneaky
but
guy.
yeah. He didn't even, like, I always thought that part was like, that was gangster. Like, you just
Yeah.
read a letter that you passed the bar. You're in front of all your homies for all intensive purposes. And he just pins that hoe on the clip.
You know, another gangster scene is whenever he goes and walks up and shoots that guy in the fucking head.
Oh, yeah. That's Idris Elba. That's another star-studded character in the movie. And that guy's based on a real person.
Yeah?
Yeah. So the story goes, he shot him 4 times in the head in broad daylight. And it was actually before Bumpy Johnson dies, and it was over a $5,000 debt. So you owe somebody $5,000 in 1970, 1969.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
no, that's like a house.
Yeah,
where?
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude, back in the day,
Fair
it
enough,
was like $20,000, if not, to buy. And I'm just throwing out a fucking number. I don't know because I wasn't there.
Shit,
but it was cheap to buy a home in the 60s.
Yeah. About
Cheap.
$50,000.
At least a down payment.
I mean, you get a brand new car for like $900.
I bet $50,000 to get you a nice home paid out in the 1960s.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
a nice neighborhood, everything.
50 whole grand.
So, what was the reason why Frank Lucas decided to hit up his cousin? And where did he go to? Was it in Indonesia?
Bangkok.
That's actually his cousin through marriage.
Yeah.
His real name. That's another real person in the movie. His name was Alexander Lewis or Lewis Alexander, some shit like that. It was his wife. It was his cousin's his cousin's a female, and that was her husband. But they had gotten divorced, and he was stationed over there in the Golden Triangle. Were Laos, South Korea, and another Asian country. I can't think off the top of my head. But, yeah, the Golden Triangle, man. The reason he went over there is because in the beginning of the movie, right before Bumpy Johnson dies, you got to listen to the words. Like, that's another reason. There's not a lot of action in the movie. There is action in moments, but it's a lot of dialogue. And you really got to listen to that shit. So, in the beginning of the movie, right before Bumpy dies, he's talking about how all the corporations are moving into the neighborhood and knocking out the middleman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that whole conversation's about in the beginning. And he's like, and then they walk into that department store and he's like, see, we come in here and there's no familiarity. You know what I'm saying? They knocked out the menu man and they buying it right from the manufacturer and blah, 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 blah. And then he has a fucking heart attack. And then Frank Lucas is like, somebody help, call the ambulance. And he's like,
he says it again.
Yeah,
right,
he goes, no one's in charge, Frank, and then he dies. So to answer your question, why did Frank go over there
to cut out the middleman? Yeah,
cut out the.
But how did he put 2 and 2 together to call that guy, to call his cousin or whatever of marriage?
Oh, because them soldiers. There's another scene where he had those 2 soldiers go back to Red Top's place with him to try out his dope. So
yeah, that's right.
And they were like, man, this some good shit, but that shit over there.
There's like,
And that's when he started. That's when his wheels started turning. He was like, damn, I actually got some kinfolk.
So did those the 2 soldiers that
caused the shit out of it?
So the 2 soldiers that tried it, were they his cousin's people?
No,
or it was just 2 guys that wanted to get high.
They're just 2 random guys, 2 random ex-soldiers that wanted to get high. That just come from over there.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they were stateside now, and they were just getting high off of his current product. But while they're getting high off his current product, because they're his testers, they get to running a high mouth about, man, this shit good and all. But when we just came back from when we were out in war over there, they shit is the bomb. And he's just listening to him like, oh, really? The shit over there is the bomb, huh? And he's like, and then, his wheels get to turn.
Yeah, it starts to
go
go.
Straight to that payphone, call his cousin.
I'm pretty sure I heard like some kind of, I don't know if it's fact or not, but they were saying like during the war there that 1/3 of American soldiers were addicted to heroin.
No, that's true.
That's wild.
I'd be surprised if the number was actually higher. But yeah, they all of them that heroin dope, that black tar heroin, bro. And they come home fucked up, bro, with disease.
I mean, dude, think about it.
Fucking them people over there, bro.
But think about it, man. Like, think about the war, how fucked it was, right?
Yep.
To where all they could do is shoot up to escape for an hour or however long a heroin high
lasts. Don't like
lasts.
to admit it and say it outright, but we lost that war.
It's true.
Fucking wild.
You know, maybe it was a strategic point on their part. You know, the Vietnamese.
Yeah, giving heroin out to
them tunnels and shit.
Like you want some pussy?
Yeah, you want
some heroin?
Yeah,
come
here.
on.
Like, you know, get them addicted and stuff so that they could push.
If there's two things that an 18-year-old man in war in a foreign country wants, is some pussy and pussy.
Pussy and pussy.
Exactly.
What is that? Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
I give you anything you want.
Yeah. Hey man, that
Stinky,
shit
man.
is crazy. And then it was a very opposed, detested war by Americans, like Vietnam War and all that.
Yeah.
That was
I mean, it was the
And just
era of
think,
love.
right across the water,
Yeah.
like in the same area, Forrest Gump was saving his whole platoon. Just run. Fucking Bubba on his back.
When are they
like-
gonna have a crossover with this movie and, you know, Forrest Gump?
They should
Never
take
do
every
that.
movie
Never.
that's from like Good Morning Vietnam.
Era.
Fucking- You got Robin Williams in there on the radio in the background as
Hell yeah.
you know what I'm saying, as Forrest
That'd be
Gump's
so good.
saving
But
Lieutenant
nah,
Dan.
so in the movie, like also, yeah, but that, Forrest Gump. What was I about to say with that shit? Like, all right, so yeah, okay, you want to talk about Forrest Gump? Imagine if any one of them dead bodies from his platoon was one of the coffins carrying the drugs in the face.
Damn, what if they opened and it was Bubba? It was just fucking Bubba right
brought
there.
back the dope.
And he pulled out like and the whole time it wasn't his oversized gums, it was a bag of dope just hard
Brought back the dope.
That's
But yeah,
fucking
so that's some
crazy.
fucking crazy shit. Like that's good writing too, because in real life they actually had soldiers over there build furniture, and they put the drugs inside of furniture.
Yeah.
But to write it in the script so that they put it in false bottoms of coffins,
That's insane.
pretty
that's
good.
man.
I mean,
diabolical, bro.
I would have if I were writing this movie, I probably would have thought or
Yeah.
tried to like, how are they going to get it over?
Like, bro,
It's hard. I mean, to think about, but like that's a smart moment. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Coffins. Who's gonna check
So
it?
also when you go over there, man, that this part's real too. So they did the Asian super drug lord over there that he meets.
Mm-hmm.
They called him 007, Agent 007 as a joke, but that's what Frank Lucas called dude. Like, so that part was real. That's what his name was as
That's
far as
funny.
Frank Lucas was called. And they really did go into the jungle looking for this dude. In real life, Frank Lucas got sick and they were stuck in the jungle for a fucking month and he almost died.
Oh, what'd
out
he
there.
get? He got that
I don't know what disease he got. They ain't
Jungle
specified.
fever.
yeah, something.
Oh,
what
you
was it?
dumbass. Jungle fever is when a black and a white person.
Jungle fever.
The fuck is
No,
that?
what was this? There was this. What was that movie I just watched recently? Never mind. I don't even want to get off topic.
But
We'll
yeah,
figure it out.
man. In real life, this nigga got sick for a month in the jungle
That's
trying to find
insane.
these drug lords, bro. That is insane. Like, you know how
Yeah, a
dedicated you
month.
gotta be. Like, just like that aspect of the operation. You know how dedicated you gotta be to want to separate from the Italian mafia and do your own thing. That you didn't flew all the way clear across the world to the Golden Triangle
To
Now you off in
disrupt the
jungle.
natural order of things in the United States. You know.
Yeah, bro. And that aspect of the movie pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, as a black man, I ain't trying to go all racial about it, but as a black man, yeah, that aspect of the movie pissed me off. Because it's like, man, y'all sure are focusing a lot of attention on this one black man and his organization, and y'all are constantly using the phrase, the natural order of things. All this shit illegal? So, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So y'all are spending all this time and effort to get him out the picture, but y'all knowingly and willingly are letting the Italian mafia operate. Y'all are knowingly
Oh,
and
I see what you're
willingly-
saying. Like the law enforcement.
Yeah,
yeah. That
and-
was kind of
and-
weird.
And even fucking Richie for that much. Like y'all, you know the Italian mafia operating just the same.
But yeah, they weren't even going after them.
Y'all so focused on Frank Lucas and them, but y'all know these other families are doing this before he even come along, to the extent that y'all didn't even want to accept that he was who he was at first.
But I also
That
think
shit was bugging me as a black man. Like,
But I also
Like-
think that they kind of used so the Frank Lucas thing and the corrupt cops. So like Josh Brolin's role.
Yeah.
So they
motherfucking
used
Thanos was in that
they
bitch.
used that because they started they started watching Frank Lucas, right? And then they started watching as those cops would resurface around Frank Lucas. So they used, it's almost like they were using both, right? They were using
like
the cops to take Frank,
the
and then they were using Frank to get the cops, because the whole point of it at the end, he was like, so what, you want all the gangsters? I'll give you every fucking mobster I know. And he's like, nah, I want the cops.
What you want to do? You know what you gotta do. What you want me to do, snitch? Huh? I know you don't want to give up no cops. What you want? You want gangsters? Pick one. Jew gangsters, Mick gangsters, guineas. They've been bleeding Harlem dry since they got off the boat, Richie. I don't give a fuck about no crime figures. You can have them. I'll take them too. You'll take them too. No, you didn't. You talking about police? You want police? You want your own kind. They're not my kind.
And see, that's the fact in the fiction. In the movie, that's how it played out. But in real life, they were already on Frank. So in the movie, they wrote it. That's just some good ass writing. The way the way the writer intertwined everything is just
it was genius. For sure.
But in real life, they were already on Frank Lucas. Like,
but do you think it's because he was a successful black man? That's, I mean, ultimately that's what it is. Yeah. It's because they seen him getting money. They seen him at fights. They seen him at being handshaking with celebrities and all these things, and he's like, who the fuck is this guy?
That fight scene really happened too. True story. That's a true story. So he had the best seats in the house as far as all them other people were concerned. That chinchilla jacket, his wife really bought him that shit.
Same one?
That same one.
You know, that I knew as soon as I saw that, I knew something was going to happen, because the way he was talking shit to the other guy, he's like, stop. His cousin, his brother's like, stop dressing like a fucking pimp. Dude.
So that's some, nigga, thank you for bringing that up. So in real life, that's how Frank Lucas was. So Frank Lucas's demeanor and attitude in American Gangster,
who his brother portrayed,
is the complete opposite in real life. Like in real life, Frank Lucas was flashy and loud and arrogant and all that. That's why him and Nicky Barnes didn't get along. So that aspect in the movie's true. Him and Nicky Barnes, they were frenemies, right? Mm-hmm. But that's why they were frenemies, because Nicky Barnes was getting money. And
Nicky Barnes was the guy that started cutting his shit, and he's like, dude, call it red magic, call it whatever the fuck you want, just don't call it blue magic.
Yeah. So they were the same in real life. That's why Frank
Lucas, was that guy though?
Nicky Barnes?
Yeah, what was he? What was he? Another drug dealer?
Yeah, he was another big. He was
like a kingpin or something.
Because I thought he was a celebrity, and for some reason in my mind
he was a celebrity drug dealer.
No, I meant like in the sense that he was known for not drugs, but for something else.
Hell no, this dumb, like that's what I'm saying, bro. At that particular junction in time, these New York mobsters were fucking celebrities,
it's like
bro.
Frank Sinatra, and
bro, rubbing elbows with and alcohol. Like, yes, bro. Like that's why I'm saying it like that. Like that's crazy, man. Like these motherfuckers are famous drug. Y'all are famous racketeering. Famous
for sure.
Like,
that's why Vegas was Vegas,
man.
Right? That's why Frank Sinatra was the most popular fucking thing in the world, is because he was held down by the Italian mob.
The Italian and the Jewish mafia. The Jewish mafia, that's Dutch Schultz and all them. Like the Jews even had a mafia.
That's insane.
Bro.
That's hard to believe, bro. Like
hell yeah, and they were all ruthless, murdering motherfuckers, bro. All of them.
What's that guy's name? Bugsy.
Bugsy Siegel.
That motherfucker got shot
by his own people.
Yeah, in his house, like Hollywood, in a regular neighborhood, just like read the newspaper in his fucking chair.
To this day, they don't know who did it, but they believe Lucky Luciano proved the hit, because Lucky Luciano, he started. He's the like, before Lucky, it wasn't no organized crime. Everybody just had their own thing. You know what I'm saying?
But when it started becoming violent and all
family, like the La Costa Nostra, Lucky Luciano created that, and that's the Bugsy Siegels. That's the fucking all the dudes from that movie with
Goodfellas or Casino, or I'm just naming off all kinds.
All of that's encompassing. It's all within the last 100 years. Think about it, from 1920 till now, it's all in the last 100 years. I'm trying to think of that movie. What is his name? Matt Dillon? Not Matt Dillon.
Damon?
No.
Christian Slater. That's what I'm thinking of. What's that movie with Christian Slater as a gangster?
Shit. Christian Slater.
Yeah, Christian Slater. Look it up, bro. But yeah, man. So Lucky Luciano organized all that drug, all that criminal underworld. It's prostitution, racketeering, bootlegging with the liquor, and the gambling. Lucky Luciano organized all that.
Okay,
shit.
so I got True Romance. What is it? True Romance, Broken Arrow.
Christian Slater
yeah,
and all them fools played in the movie, and with Meyer Lansky.
Mobsters.
There you go. That's
Mobsters.
the movie. Mobsters. It's all of them. It's Lucky Luciano, Meyer Lansky. All of them are legit people, bro.
Yep.
Like, you ain't never seen the movie Mobsters?
Maybe. I'm not sure, dude. I've
It's a
seen so many
90s
damn
movie.
movies,
It's a 90s
dude.
gangster movie. But so yeah, yeah, man.
It's wild to think about, like, the fact that these are actual real people. You
Hell
know what I mean?
yeah.
But, like, you know, it's all in the past. We didn't live through it, so all we have are stories to tell, you know, like what
Yeah.
fucking happened. And then we have to go and read everything to come to a conclusion, you know?
that should be all intertwined.
What about,
Yeah.
like, is there the Italian mafia and stuff still today?
Yeah, but it's very
I
low
believe
key.
it is.
But it's
Yeah.
just very, like, they just don't, it's
So
more or less
after
not
the-
like violent, just
Yeah.
The
Tommy
90s
gun and
was
motherfuckers.
So like the late 80s, early 90s was its fever pitch. That's when, in my opinion, it had to go back to the shadows because you had the Teflon Don, Gotti, and all them. They were all on the fucking newspapers. They made it celebrity. Even they were doing too much, and it reached the fever pitch. And that's when they back in the shadows now. But from like 70s to like 90, they were strutting and they were on fucking Brock on for Front Row Street, man.
And
No,
it's
for
also,
sure.
It's
They were
also
celebrities.
different. It's also a different decade and era, you know, like electronics and all that stuff. It's easy. You know what I mean? You could have hackers and shit, blah, blah, blah. But I know what you're talking about. Is it the same as like when they're shooting people up? I don't think so.
yeah, dude, because it's just as
Yeah.
easy to buy a burner now phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's more.
From Walmart.
Do I think there's
Just
still
saying,
a
yeah.
criminal underworld? as
Of
far
course,
as, like,
I
the
think there
mafia?
has to be.
Yeah.
I think it's transferred into like cartels.
Cartels.
Like,
Yeah, but do you think there's an American cartel? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know
you
exactly
hear
what you
like the
mean.
Sinaloa, and you hear
I think
all
there-
these
I
different
think-
cartels
I
across
think-
the world.
I
Is there
think
like
I think there's other ethnic groups in America that are running like
something huge, like a
yeah,
giant
yeah.
thing?
I don't think
But they're obviously not going around just cutting,
see, our country
cutting
ain't having
millions,
that
Yeah.
shit.
a bunch
no
of people's
more,
heads
though,
off
you know
and
what I'm
shit.
saying? We're not as a country, as a government. I don't think they having that shit no more. Like,
Well, it's also just harder, like you were saying, surveillance and all that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
probably harder to do things.
you got like a
These
lot of
days.
these older people. They're 6 degrees of separation from the mafia. Like the Kennedys are connected to the mafia.
Didn't what was the crime family that had a reality show like
Yeah,
15 years
Gotti's,
ago? Yeah,
Growing Up Gotti.
that is
That's weird.
ridiculous, dude.
Growing up,
It's
guys.
ridiculous.
Like,
I mean, that's
yeah.
cool. It is what it is, but it's wild to think that they got to show off being the kids and wife of
And-
John Gotti.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. It's
And it's
fucking
like-
weird.
Why? I mean, I understand
Why are we glorifying
like,
him? Kind
who
of.
John Gotti was, and he
Yeah.
was,
Have you seen the movie Gotti with John Travolta?
that's actually
No.
the production company I used to work for made that movie.
Oh no
Oh, yeah?
shit.
Yeah.
Hell
the
yeah.
movie's pretty
I never
dope.
watched it.
It's a good movie.
But
I watched it.
I'd always see the poster going into the office. You know, like they always have their
New movie.
posters of what
Yeah.
they've
Yeah,
made
man.
and stuff.
Produced and all that.
Yeah.
wild.
I heard it was bad.
I like the movie.
I just heard it was bad.
It was
Yeah,
good.
they say it was good, but you know, some people it's mixed opinions. They
Yeah,
say it was
man.
worse, you know, like bad, and then you know, couple of percent that's good.
So
what they
yeah,
say.
he ended up snitching. He ended up snitching and got out of 70 detectives, police officers that Frank Lucas officially snitched on. 52 of them were either arrested or indicted just off of his snitching, and it turned his 70-year sentence into a 5-year sentence. In the movie, it says he did 15 years, but he only did 5.
I mean, that's a hell to have that good of a run and to have that life of luxury and shit for as many years as he did
Yep.
to only getting 5 years and doing something good. by taking out all these corrupt policemen. That is a hell of a run, dude.
And
And,
look-
not only that, but he survived. He lived all through old age.
Oh yeah, he died of natural causes
Yeah.
at the age of 88.
But
Just a few years back, he died in 2019.
Did he go back to his life of luxury after he got
No,
out?
I mean, he was probably a regular guy, but he probably
He
had
had-
money. I'm
he
sure he
had
probably.
5 million
I'd have
left.
been. Look, I'd have told you. Look, if I was making that type of money, just like everybody else, just like Pablo Escobar, all these people, I'd be burying
Just like
it.
the
I'd be
real Rick
stuffing it in
Ross,
walls.
the
I'd be
real Rick
fucking,
Ross,
you know.
He's alive and he's on. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
The real Rick Ross. He was fucking around with Griselda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the Black
Blanco,
Widow. You
Griselda
know?
Blanco.
And she
She was wild.
kidnapped one of the Kennedys.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Let's hope they don't.
She
let's
was
hope they don't
wild.
hear
Didn't
this.
didn't
What do you mean? This is all fact. This
Didn't
is
what's her name?
documented.
What was her name? They just did a show. It was good too about Griselda, and it was
Black Widow. Is
Yeah.
no, but what's the woman's name off of?
Yeah,
Sofia
Sophia
Vergara.
Vergara.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
Vergara.
played her. Yeah, sure
Yeah.
did. Hell yeah, man.
And that's wild too because. So now I'm not even gonna say it
No,
because I
she's
want to get my
hot.
head blown off. But
Oh.
But,
as far as
as far as the comparisons of the character
Yeah,
to real
man,
life,
So
Yeah.
these motherfuckers is what was I talking about?
about Frank Lucas and just the fact that he lived a full, complete life no matter what.
Yeah.
Like,
So they say that when he got out in 81, and in the movie it says he did 15 years and he got out in 91. In real life, he only did 5 years and he got out in 81. When he got out, they said he had $5 million that you could document, and he says that the laws that raided his house, they only turned. He says he had $10 million at the house, but they only turned in 2-3 million. So he
course.
believes even when they at the end he got jacked for $7 million, right? So he gets out, and Richie, who is now a defense attorney in real life, you know what I'm saying? That's his one. He hires him as a lawyer, and he's about to I'm telling the story out of order. So whenever he gets out, he speaks on this or whatever. And some of the laws that he got in trouble or whatever, and some of their buddies, they tried to sue him. They tried to sue Frank Lucas for slander and all this other shit. And then once they realized that Richie was going to be his attorney, they dropped the lawsuit. You want to know why they dropped the lawsuit?
why?
Because they didn't want to risk.
Getting called out for being corrupt as fuck.
Because they didn't know if everybody that got in trouble.
Oh, actually went and got hemmed
Yeah.
up for it. So yeah, because they could have been
You bring this
indicted
shit
real
back
quick.
up,
Yeah.
we can go. Oh,
You know, it was also
let's
cool.
make sure we got everybody then, since y'all want to keep acting up about it.
You know, I also thought that Josh Brolin's character was a very fitting ending to him in that movie.
Oh, Thanos.
Yeah, dude, he just.
blew his own fucking.
Oh,
brains
but you
out.
see his face, his like cheeks, like it was a great.
Oh.
It was, I mean, like,
That's what he get for killing
but
that
it
dog,
just
bro.
it looked good on camera. Just that where you saw like the
Everything, yeah.
well, you just no, I'm saying like from the pressure of the bullet going in, you
Yeah.
see his cheeks kind of puff out because like
Oh
of
yeah.
the force of the thing, and then
That's
and the
funny
lady's
shit.
just
my
vacuuming.
dog.
She don't even notice it. She's just vacuuming the whole time.
That was Bumpy Johnson's dog.
Yep.
Because in the beginning, he took the dog at the funeral.
Yeah, he killed him
He
at
kept
the
that
yeah.
dog all the way to the end.
Who,
No,
Josh Brolin?
No.
Yeah.
He
no,
stole.
No,
that
I'm
was-
talking about
I'm
Frank
saying
Lucas.
that dog was
Frank's.
Bumpy Johnson's
Oh, okay.
dog.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Josh Brolin took his dog too. I was like, that's fucked up.
He killed that dog.
Yeah, he took him.
Oh
and ate him.
yeah, that's right. He killed him to get the money underneath the
Yep.
doghouse. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
He
wild.
took him and he ate him. All right. Anyways.
Yeah, Josh Brolin, he killed his role also, man. That's pre-Thanos.
Pre Thanos.
Yeah.
Before the snap.
Yeah, that was before the Avengers movie.
That's funny as
He
fuck.
killed his role though.
Oh,
yeah,
most
Josh
definitely.
Brolin
Oh.
kills every role.
That's true too. That cop that Brolin's portraying,
Mm.
Frank Lucas really did blow up his car.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Was it that same car?
Where's your Mustang?
Yeah.
Remember he
It
asked
It was a
him-
Mustang. Yeah.
he blew that
Fuck.
shit up for real.
and then he told him like, unless you want, I'm gonna blow up your fucking house next time.
Yeah.
That shit's funny as hell.
Man, he beat the shit out of his brother, bro.
That was crazy.
Imagine getting pulled over. You got 3 keys of heroin in your car, and they let you go away. Yeah, I'm smashing my brother's head against the car window for that shit too. Like, bro, you could have got us both. Like, if they really wanted to,
A life sentence right there.
both of us
Yeah.
gone right here, right now. But he was like,
Nah, because it would have
It's
messed
not
up the money.
profitable.
Yeah, he knows that.
"You're not really
'Cause didn't
thinking
he-
of busting Bumpy Johnson, are you?
But did he
Like,
come? Did he come to Frank Lucas? Josh Brolin, did he come to Frank Lucas for the 10,000 a week or whatever a month after he picked up the keys or before?
Before. So when he stopped him on his fucking wedding day, which
that's right when he was getting in the door. Yeah,
that was the very first time they ever met. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the reason he pulled him over is because he had just blown up his car. Because he was
right.
He was like, "How was your Thanksgiving?" He goes, "I really like that car." This nigga gonna say,
I know.
Not I know. I know.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I like the squad too, man. RZA, shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. RZA, he was in that movie.
Yeah, they had
T.I.
John Hawkes, which is the Freddie Spearman. He was the brother in Eastbound and Down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I love that movie. I mean, show. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
Fucking Danny McBride.
Oh yeah. Which one? Which guy?
He was the main guy that brought on the team. So when Richie wanted to hire...
No, I'm talking about
in Eastbound and Down, he's the brother.
The skinny guy.
Yeah, where he has the two sons.
Yep.
Yeah. If you want me, you gotta take them with me. Yeah. And that's a good star-studded cast, man.
Yeah,
really
man.
is. They also had that. What's that guy's name? I don't even know how to say it.
From 12 Years a Slave. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah,
I don't want to butcher your name.
Sorry, brother. We know you are. You're a badass.
We know who you are. We seen you on fucking Doctor Strange.
He was also on that Alien show where it's like he comes from a different planet or some shit. He's like an alien.
Orville?
It was just recent, like within the last couple of years. I forget what it's called though.
I don't know, but I know him from 12 Years a Slave. He's on Doctor Strange. He's on The Man Inside too, with Denzel Washington and what's that dude's name? The white dude in that movie. That's a good movie. Damn, I can't think of his name.
Oh, he was in Venom.
Yeah, he in Venom too.
Lion King.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we forgot to mention Nate, which is Frank Lucas's cousin that was across. That guy's name is Roger, like Guinevere Smith or something like that. He's in a bunch of stuff as well.
I can't think of his face. Common, the rapper Common's in that.
Common's
shit too.
in it.
He plays T.I. Daddy.
Oh yeah, T.I.'s in it.
Yeah, that's funny. Who are you talking about though? I can't think of his face.
The private guy that's in
He's the
Bangkok.
cousin.
That's in
He's
Bangkok.
the cousin, the one that he keeps calling.
Yeah. Light-skinned dude, the cousin.
Yeah,
he's
Robert
in a bunch of shit.
He's in
Guinevere
fucking
Smith.
All About the Benjamins.
Yeah, he's in All About the Benjamins. He was in that movie Dope. He was in Empire State.
He's in a lot of fucking movies. You right,
dude. He's in Chirac, Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, he plays fucking. He plays Malcolm X in a movie, I believe.
But he's a great actor.
Yeah,
all I'm getting at. He's been in so much stuff.
Oh, he's in Do the Right Thing.
Yep,
that's right. Yep.
He's the one that
Do the Right Thing's a great movie.
He's the
Spike
one that
Lee.
stutters and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He been around.
Yeah, they got dude. I'm telling you, this cast is
It's great.
Pretty fire.
No, it's fucking great. So,
yeah, man. There's just a lot going on in this movie, man.
I really liked it for the first time watching it. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. I wasn't
I've watched
feeling
it before,
at first.
bro. And
Yeah.
I totally forgot. In fact, when you said you want to watch American Gangster, I was like, I know that's a long ass movie. I'm about to watch it.
Yeah,
bro. I loved every fucking second of it. It like as if
It
I
keeps
didn't
your
even
interest.
remember it. I watched it a long time ago, and I knew it was good.
Yeah.
But I only watched it one time.
See, when
so
it
when I
originally
watched it again-
came out, I was DVD bound, so that shit used to get played.
Yeah, you know,
on repeat.
that's where I had it. For some reason, I had a DVD. This is how I know where I found American Gangster, and it was just a blank DVD out of like a thing of a bundle of DVDs I got from like a friend or something like that.
Was it like the
And
ones
it
you
was
burn on the CDs?
No, it was the actual one,
DVD?
but it was just in a blank case.
Oh yeah.
And so when I opened it, I was like, American Gangster, all right, I'll watch it. And I watched it, and I liked it, but that was the last time I ever saw it. And this was 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I loved it just as much as I did back then.
It's a real rich movie. It's real realism oriented, man. We can talk about this.
You like
movie
that
all day,
semi-autobiography kind of thing? Because there are parts that they were.
Yeah, I like movies like that, like Public Enemy with fucking
Johnny Depp.
I like.
That was in it?
I put those in the same realm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not 100% true.
But they have to make it
real.
Well, they have to make it watchable as well.
Yeah,
so it's like you have to put certain plot points and things in that carry the movie.
To push the movie and all
you
that.
know.
But other than that, those are my favorite kind of movies. Definitely.
Yeah, they're definitely dope. I enjoy it.
Mama Lucas was in Do the Right Thing as well.
Oh yeah. Ruby D.
Hell of an actress.
Yeah, man. She been doing her fucking thing for 50 fucking years.
Forever, yeah.
I bet she was
Man, we're gonna have to cut it short. We'll be on this episode all day and night talking about fucking American Gangster, star-studded cast starring fucking Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe. This has been a great episode, man. I am your boy, Man Turner.
This is Young Zeke.
This is AT. Denzel, if you're watching, we love you.
Later, guys.
Holla.
Come to gangsters.
What?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing, man. That's light right there. That's light right there.
Even a fool gets to be young once.